So today I will be sharing a new PvP build that I have been playing as a wizard and been enjoying it quite a lot. And this is going to be somewhat a mix of a support build and single target damage with a lot of range. And without any further ado, I will be going into skills, set item, essences, and the important stats right away. And you will able to maybe see some gameplay on your screen as well, as I will be going through everything here, showcasing what is needed to play these builds. Starting with the most important things I want to talk about, that is going to be your magic affixes. I would highly recommend everyone getting this eternal gear effects. Scorch trigger an explosion on hit, dealing 10,000 damage to nearby enemy, and you can see I am using 4 out of 4. It does give me a decent explosion every 3 seconds, and it has some AoE as well. So I would highly recommend that you guys try and craft it yourself or try and grind it through the Terra Rift. And then having the beneficial duration on your chest, and then having beneficial duration on your legs as well, and try and get as much critical hit chance from your helm, shoulder, weapons, and offhand. And if you can, I would highly recommend even adding some runes that gives you critical hit damage. Critical hit damage is going to be important since we will be creating quite a lot with this build. But those are going to be some of the important stats. And of course, other than that, I would highly recommend getting skill cooldown on your rings and your amulet as well. And you can get more beneficial duration from the belt and your shoes. And this is how my Reforge bonuses here looks. Duration of beneficial increase, damage taken while suffering from loss of control decrease, damage taken from plays or damage to plays, you can use either one, and critical hit damage and all skill damage increase. This is what I am using, and you have a 2% chance to immobilize. Well, I have a 10%, I believe, so a chance to immobilize the enemy since I'm using these bonuses on every single thing. So these are going to be some of the important stats that I would recommend everyone using. And now let's go dive into the skills that we have here. We're going to start with the magic missile. This is going to be somewhat decent if you stay at a distance and you get the chance to like use your skills and the primary, then you will be like doing quite a lot of blast, something I will talk about in a sec. Then we are using the arcane wind, teleport, scorch, and the frost field. For the set pieces, this is what I have here: 4 pieces of grace of the fledgling, since I am using quite a lot of gems that is going to be damage over time, like the blood flow, it is gonna bleed enemy. Then I'm using the viper bite, it is also gonna put the poison and give me damage over time onto the enemy. Then I have the seeping ball, it will add additional layer of poison onto the enemy, and I will get an additional hit. And then I am using wolf, that will also take benefit from the bleeding from blood flow, viper bite, sleeping ball, and we can feed it to grace of the fledgling and get additional hit every 5 times we hit the same target. And of course, the rolling consequence fire will also help us feed the grace of the fledgling. That is my personal gem setup. But if you are not using something like a lot of damage over time, then grace of the fledgling might not be the best thing for you, and you can go with something else, maybe the one that on the teleport gives you a lot more critical hit chance, or maybe mount bank. But this is what I'm using with the build I have here. And then 2-piece ritters to extend the beneficial duration for my gems. Some of the 5-star gems takes benefit from this, and Frostfield also take benefit from this, something that is going to be needed so we can have that freeze up all times. And then I am using 2 pieces of Feasting Baron, and again I am using this because I have quite a lot of damage over time gems like the blood flow, wiper by steeping bile, and I'm trying to extend the duration of those harmful effects using this. But again, if you don't have damage over time gems, then I would highly recommend using two-piece mount bank with the build here. It is going to give you a bit more survivability. And when it comes to the Paragon, this is what we have here. I am using Gladiator, which is that grizzled veteran overpower to the victory and battle morale. You can try and use something else, but this is what I am using here for the Paragon. And then for the Warband bonus, as always, it is going to be the protector with 5% block chance, and make sure that your Warband has the remnant that shepherd burden that gives you more life and size. It is going to help you move a bit quicker. If you don't know, if your character size is bigger in Diablo Immortal, you move faster. And also on the top of that, it gives you some life, and everyone would highly recommend using this in PvP. And now if we go take a look at some of the essences, what we are using, this is what we have. This is the new Helm, Crown of the Frozen Tears, one of the best one that came and enable us using these build. Scorch now holds multiple Frigid Spear of Ice at an enemy, and if they hit a frozen enemy, the spear shatter, dealing additional damage to nearby enemy. It doesn't say here, but you can get up to 10 spear, and if those 10 spear hit critical hit, enemy health will be melting really fast. And then our chest, it is for the frost field. Our attack will apply a chill. Frost field now grant you a creeping chill, causing your attack to chill enemies and freeze them on a critical hit. One of the best ones, since we will be doing quite a lot of press. And then for the shoulder, insult to injury. For the scorch, you can go use something else for some more survivability, but this is what I am using. Damage dealt by scorch to the same enemy within 2 seconds is increased by 15.2 and stacking up to 45%. And like I said, we can hit the same enemy sometime with 10 frigid spear, and that is gonna get the benefit of this 45% increased damage to that enemy. And the legs, it is for the Arcane Wind here. Arcane Wind damage increased by 19% and cooldown for the Arcane Wind. And then again, Tissa Bloom for some crowd control, and also using the Elder Crystal here. If we hit the enemy, Arcane Wind also freeze chill enemies, since our attacks will be applying chill from the force field. And if we use a combination of the Thistle Bloom and this, it will also add another layer of a freeze to the enemy. And then we are using Equalizer for the primary attack, and this is because sometime we will get to hit enemies from a distance. Each time you use a skill, your next magic missile turns into a flaming missile if cast within 5 seconds with explosion, and it has some AoE as well. And since our Scorch from the Helm will only have 1 second cooldown, and we will be using that quite a lot, you can just basically spam this from a distance, and it does pretty nice damage, especially when you will be doing crowd control on the objective. And and you get the chance to use the primary, it is going to be one of the best. So that is why I'm using it. And at the end, Withering Chill to make crit with the Scorch here. Scorch critical hit chances increased by 29% against chilled enemy, and since our attacks are already chilling enemies, we definitely getting the buff of this. And since we also applying a freeze to enemy, the critical chance is going to be 50% against the frozen enemy. So there we go. This is the build. Right now I've been getting really good result. Like I said, a combination of a CC support with a single target damage. If you have a good control over your skill, your movement, this is gonna be a really good fun build. I have been playing quite a lot of Battleground and been getting really good result. The reason why I decided to share this build. But just a warning, you will need to you will need to spam quite a lot of Scorch, and if you don't like spamming type of build, then this might not be for you. But the single target is pretty solid. Anyhow, I'm signing off. Back to Battleground once it will be open, and I'm really close to reaching Legend at the moment, maybe 1 or 2 games away. Anyhow, I'm signing off. See you all in the next one. You guys have an excellent day, and I see you all in the next one later.